Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nettie from Nettie's Hair Teak, back with another video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys how I styled this unit. First, I'm going to get into how I place the closure. This is a 6x6 HD closure. So I'm going to just quickly go over the closure placement, and then I'm going to jump into the plucking. I'm going to show you guys how I like to pluck my units. It's pretty much the same technique. I know I showed you guys before how I pluck. I just got really detailed with it and a lot better. And I stick with this because when I see the wigs, when my clients send me pictures of them in their wigs, it just looks really natural and really good. So I'm going to show you guys how I've been creating my hairlines. So now I have the 6x6 HD closure, and it's bigger, you know, than the other closures, the 5x5s. So the only thing is that the placement is pretty much the same. You just got to make sure that you're stretching the closure out into place. So I'm going to place it in the back. I use my rulers. You guys know I'm going to place it about at the like 5.5-inch mark, close to the 6, because the closure is pretty big. And then I'm going to pull them out. The closure is going to go like to the temple to temple area of the wig. So I'm going to do like my initial placement, and then I'm going to get the hair out of the way, and then I'm going to, you know, go ahead and fix it. Make sure that I'm happy with the way that it's laying on the cap. Okay, so now I'm placing it again because I wasn't completely happy with the way that the closure was laying. So I'm just going to take the ends and just stretch it out. I'm going to work on the front first. Okay, so now this is how the front is lying. You can see there that it goes from like temple to temple. So now I'm happy with the way the front is. So now I'm going to go to the back and then make sure that it's even, which it is. And then I'm going to take my T-pins, grab the corner, and then I'm going to pull back and out. Okay, so now the closure is lying nice and flat to the wig cap. I'm going to go ahead and just sew it down. And you guys know how I sew down. I sew one side and then I go to the other side and sew it down. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to draw my guidelines, and then I'm going to create this unit off camera. And I'm going to be using two 12-inch bundles to create the unit. This unit, the hair that I'm using for this unit is from my affordable hairline. This is my Katie unit that a lot of people purchase. And this is from the vendor. If you have my vendor list, the hair is from the vendor, the second vendor that is on that list. I use their 11A for my affordable hairline, and it's really good. And I get a lot of good feedback for this hair. So if you guys do have the vendor list, this is the hair that I'm using. And if you've been wanting to grab my vendor list, now is the time. I do have a sale for Black Friday, so you guys can get a nice discount. All right, so I went ahead and I washed the wig, let it air dry. It's like a couple days later. And now it is time for me to style. The part is already made. I made the part, while I let it dry. I like to do that and kind of like just bowl down the top. It just makes it easier for me to flatten out the wig when I'm working. And now I'm just going to get ready to start my plucking. I'm going to part a small section in the front, and then I'm going to start to pluck behind that small section. So I do the same thing just like I showed you guys before. I work with the wax stick and the hot comb. This helps me to push the hair back and just see what I'm doing. And you always want to make sure that you're working with some sharp tweezers. Never work with dull ones. Make sure you have some nice sharp tweezers. And then I'm going to start to pluck like indents, just like I showed you guys before. I'm gonna make like an indent. You're gonna see it start to form as I'm plucking, so you'll get what I'm talking about. And then after I do that, I'm gonna skip like a small section and do the same thing. Okay, so I'm just plucking that section out. It's like a small, you'll see like it's like a small indent. Then I'm gonna skip a section and then I'm gonna do the same thing. And this is how I'm gonna start to form the hairline. Okay, so now that I've gotten across the whole closure, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to work on, just work on some of the sections and just thin it out a bit more. Okay, and that is how she's looking. And then I'm going to just section that small section in the front. I'm going to just cut that in half and just part that, slick it back. And I'm going to hot comb that piece back, and then I'm going to be able to see my work that I did behind it. And I'm just going to take my tweezers and I'm just going to take my tweezers and kind of just like do the sections that's behind it. I'm just going to like blend it in, so I can see my sections behind it, my indents where I plucked. And I'm just going to take that piece of that section and I put there and just kind of like just blend it into the bag. And another thing that I want to mention is that you want to make sure that you're turning the head too, just so you can see from different angles. And I don't like to like pluck too much. I really don't like to over pluck. So I pluck enough until, you know, it looks a bit, you know, natural. If it looks, once it looks good enough to me, and then that's it, I'm done. I try not to go crazy and pluck too much. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the last section that's in the front. I'm going to just blend that into the rest of the hair, and then I'm going to move on to the styling. So the last step that I do to finish off my plucking is that I go to the very beginning of the hairline, and I do those same indents. I go in and blend it in and just separate it, you know, just to so I can get a nice natural looking hairline. And now that that's done, I'm gonna go through the closure with my wax stick and hot comb to flatten it out. And I'm using my Sebastian Shaper to hold the hairline. You guys already know that's my favorite holding spray when it comes to holding my hairlines. All right, so now it's time for me to start to straighten out this hair. I'm going to add some Bio Silk and use my heat protectant and my flat iron to straighten out this hair. I did add some dark blue and like purplish highlights to the front where the part is. No, you can barely see it. You can see it now when I'm like parting through it, but it looks really nice in the sunlight. Once the hair is all straightened, I'm gonna go in and trim the ends. You guys know I always tell you guys to like trim your ends and things like that. So I did trim the ends, just clean them up a little bit, and then I'm going to start to create my braid. So I'm just doing taking a small section just to make, you know, just a regular braid, and then I'm going to like just pull it apart and just fluff it out a little bit. Okay, and then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my curler and just curl it upwards just to give it a nice, elegant look. And she is all finished. I'm going to move her to my mannequin. This is how she's looking. She's looking really pretty. I'm just going to give you guys a little close up of the hairline. You see how nice the hairline is looking. And she is all done. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.